This wasn't the only time the Round Rock Hairy Man utilized the wooded environment. Old reports say he swung from trees and vines with inhuman-like efficiency, reminiscent of characters like Tarzan. And when he wasn't chasing lone explorers that happened to tread on his edge of the wilderness, a legend persists to this day that blood-curdling howls can be heard emanating from the brush. One story speaks of a man named Jack the Jumper Holloway taking aim and firing a shot at the hairy man, but missing, quickly escaping back into the woods. This is one of the closer encounters documented with him. Now, just like no one knows the hairy man's origins, neither do they know how he met his demise. Ironically, the most popular theory is that when performing one of his toenail-scratching pranks atop a tree, the branch he'd been hanging on suddenly snapped, sending him falling directly in the path of one of the stagecoaches, which inevitably trampled him to death. If this was the case, the hairy man of Brushy Creek may have actually met his fate near the exact same spot he was left for dead when he was just a boy. Another theory says he drowned in yet another flood at Brushy Creek, unable to escape his fate a second time. However, despite this well-woven story, there's another, much more probable piece of evidence that may be responsible for the hairy man legend, this time with actual record to reference it. In 1891, the Austin American-Statesman published an article speaking of a man named George Cook showing up in the area with his 4 children. Why this was of any note? Mr. Cook and 3 of his children were covered, head to toe, in long, brown hair, about 4 inches in length. And even though today this condition is classified easily as hypertrichosis, the excessiveness of 4-inch long hair is notably remarkable, hence the public's reaction. Originally from Pennsylvania, Cook and his family came to the Austin area to work as farmers, peacefully and normally. This being the 1890s, the era of traveling freak shows was in full swing, and apparently George Cook was approached multiple times by various circuses and museums alike to exploit himself as an attraction, but he refused every time, citing that he just wanted to live with his family like everyone else. There are no parallels between George and the young man who fell off the wagon, but one can hypothesize he became the inspiration for a local rumor. So much so that the elaborate story about the hairy hermit in the woods was concocted.